You need to change your mentality. No one cared about crypto gaming at these levels. The people who bought here made 100s of X's. And I know it's much more tempting to go headfirst into a meme coin, but now you have that opportunity of positioning yourself at the levels you dreamt about last year. Join the free Discord to be part of a solid community, and keep in mind, nothing I say is financial advice. I need to show you guys something extremely important before we start. This is necessary in order to understand how to position yourself for this bull run. Let's look at Sandbox, one of the biggest gainers of last cycle. As we can see, Sandbox had an amazing rally at the end of 2021. Same with a lot of other gaming projects, right? And before that, didn't really do much. Or did it? Because I was there. This was my second cycle. I had a small bag of Sandbox and Axie Infinity, which we will look at in just a second. But judging by this chart, didn't look like much, right? Let's zoom in and see what really went on during these times. Look at this. Extreme volatility. Sandbox had a market cap of 585 million. Guess what? It dipped all the way down to 121 million. That's like an 80% decrease in a matter of 3 months. I remember feeling really disappointed in myself for not taking profits at these levels. In hindsight, that was so stupid. But you live and you learn. But let's see what Sandbox did after this. 6.8 billion in market cap. So the market blessed me with a new opportunity. Of course, I took profits. But the point is, it's very easy to look at the highs and what the projects were able to do in the past and just completely ignore the fact that these projects also went through extremely tough times. People got wrecked, except the ones that practiced emotional stability and patience. Those were the people that got rewarded. Same thing goes with Axie Infinity. Same thing goes for Decentraland. This period right here looks very calm, right? Nope. We had a high of 23 cents and we went all the way down to 2 cents. 90% decrease. 90%, guys. It's just really important to understand. You have to zoom out. You have to realize that making money in crypto is extremely hard if you don't know what you're doing, if you're chasing green candles, if you're emotional. That's why 90% of people lose money in crypto. Exercise patience, exercise emotional stability. Let's look at some gaming projects. So the first project is GameSwift. Now GameSwift is the first CK EVM modular gaming blockchain. So they're using computing power and AI to revolutionize gaming. So like they said, in addition to gaming, they also have some AI integration to their launcher, which can appeal to the AI narrative. But let's focus on the gaming aspect of GameSwift. So GameSwift's long-term goal is to become the go-to blockchain network for development studios to build and launch their dedicated gaming rollups. So there are 4 pillars to the GameSwift ecosystem where you can develop games. We'll quickly run through them. So the GameSwift chain is optimized for gaming. You can run it cross-chain. And the biggest aspect to this is that it has the CK EVM scalability. Then they also have the Web3 infrastructure with ID, SDK, analytics. Basically makes it easier to develop. And then you have the GameSwift platform, where you will find all the launch games, like a really nice selection of games here. I encourage you all to check it out. And then finally, you have the GameSwift Studios. Now, the point here is to incubate, develop, and promote the best blockchain-based games. So it's a service directed at developers. So while they keep on building, GameSwift will assist in all the challenges that Web3 gaming might bring. So they have a really experienced team, of course, doxed. They've been working on games such as Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, so the team aspect should not be a concern at all. So the chart of GameSwift looks fairly decent. Launched last summer, joined the gaming hype towards Q4 of 2023, reached an all-time high of 83 cents, and has now been correcting for a couple of months. Do I think this is a good accumulation zone for GSwift? Yes. I'm looking to DCA at these levels. I have a buy target coming up very soon. I think it's a very underrated project. Team is active. They recently updated the roadmap. I think this has great potential. If you're looking to buy, please DCA. This all depends on what Bitcoin will do. Also, I think there's going to be a rotation in narratives coming up where we will shift more towards gaming again once memes are done. But keep in mind, BTC can drop another 10 to 20%. And of course, altcoins will bleed. So keep that in mind. But like I said, don't sleep on the gaming narrative, and especially low caps like these that can really moon. Next up, we have GFAL, Games for a Living. GFAL is a gaming platform, both in terms of development and also publishing. As you can see, they have 4 games as of today. This game is actually launched, it got an award, but the 3 other games are in development and set to launch during this year. Like I always say, creating high quality games, even games that look simple, it takes time. We're not talking about meme coins here, as you can create a meme coin in an hour. These are high quality games. It's going to take years, but that is why we're here, to position ourselves before the gaming narrative bounces back. So what makes me bullish about GFAL is primarily their team. They have an extremely stacked team. The guy that everyone talks about is Trip Hawkins, the founder and former CEO of Electronic Arts, which is the parent organization of EA Sports, you know, the creators of both Madden and FIFA. So Trip Hawkins actually founded that in 1982. Hawkins later went on to found Digital Chocolate, which created Tower Blocks. So no doubt that this guy has great knowledge about the gaming sphere. They also have Manuel Sort as the CEO, which have worked on a ton of projects and has 2 decades worth of experience in the video game industry. And of course, a lot of other qualified people. So taking into account the market cap of GFAL, the market cap to team experience ratio, it's extremely good here. Right now, we're at more or less 40 million in market cap. The dilution at the end of 2025 is like 20%. So that's really good. So token was launched in 2023, hasn't gone through a bull run yet, which I like to see. Reached an all-time high of 48 cents back in December 2023. And now we've been correcting, same as the entire gaming sphere. I think this project has insane potential. I think the games that are being built will be quality games, fun, simple, addictive. The team is going to make sure of that. I think this, honestly, at these prices right now, is a very good accumulation zone. Chart overall, pretty bullish. Like we're 60% down from our all-time high, but chart doesn't indicate anything bearish in my opinion. I believe that this from today's market cap can easily do a 50x. That will put it at the 2 billion in market cap. I think that is very achievable. 100x will put it at 4 billion. Also achievable. Definitely a gaming project to keep your eyes on. You can buy it on MXE, BitGet, and BingX. You can use my link in the description as it will give you some nice USDT rewards. But all in all, a project I'm keeping on my radar. So from one gaming ecosystem to another, Myria is an infrastructure play. They have both games on their platform that are playable, and they also have the Ethereum layer 2. Now I remember seeing a lot of FUD about the games of Myria because they had over 100 games that were built on Myria, but people were fudding the fact that Myria Studio themselves didn't build anything. But now Myria Studio is actually set to launch their own games, and one of them is called MetaRush. It's going to launch in July on Epic Games, so that is really cool. So really bullish. You can see the trailer right here. It is a platform battle royale. Some aspects of it looks very similar to Fall Guys, which we all know did amazing. Team is dogs, of course, experience, nothing to complain about on that front. If we take a look at the chart here, launched back in early 2023, joined the rally and has been correcting. A bit more than 70% down from our all-time high. We're sitting at under 100 million in market cap. At the peak, we had 226 million in market cap. Now, as you can see, there's been some dilution. Most of it is for the ecosystem fund. The team are also unlocking their tokens at the moment. So the dilution is definitely something worth taking into account. On a bullish note, I know Alex Becker is a big fan of this project and will probably help pump the price when the bull run returns. I think Myria can definitely break 2 billion in market cap. I know it's hard to look at a graph like this and expect something to turn around. Same thing we did in the introduction. We can actually do it again. If we move our perspective here, we went from 0.008 all the way down to 0.001, 87.5% decrease. No one cared at these levels. So just to again demonstrate the kind of perspective you need when investing in these altcoins. But Myria definitely has the potential of doing well when the narrative returns. Next up, we got Heroes of Mavia, the Clash of Clans replica. Now, I don't say that in a bad way, I say it in a good way, because Clash of Clans is a super successful game, and we are not trying to reinvent the wheel here. Mavia has a super engaging mobile game that you can both get on Android and iOS. I've tried the game, I'm super bullish on this, just because I know how big these free-to-play mobile strategy games can get. Best example of this is Clash of Clans, like I said. And this is something, a model I think is very interesting. They have the Mavia Creator Program, which basically incentivizes people to make content about the game. Now, this is something that I don't see people talking about enough. You as a creator will get rewards for making content. This is a very efficient way of marketing Heroes of Mavia that can be of great use, especially when the gaming narrative bounces back. On the tokenomics side of things, they also reduced the token unlocks by over 80% until February 2025. Means that Mavia's circulating supply will remain under 14% up until February 2025. So I'm really bullish on the tokenomics. The dilution looks very good. This is a very common thing with gaming crypto, as you've probably seen. The dilution isn't necessarily great, especially with newer projects, but this one, I'm really bullish on the tokenomics of this one. If we take a look at the chart, we can see that Mavia was launched in Q1 this year, reached an all-time high of almost $11 and slowly correcting, not like a huge immediate sell-off, but more of a response to gaming not being that hot and Bitcoin not doing too much. Now BTC is being tested. We see new lows for Mavia. I gotta be honest, especially after the reduction of the token unlocks, I am very bullish on this project. I think this project can easily do a 50x. This is a really well done game. This isn't a poor replica. I've downloaded the game. I've tested it. It's really solid. So I'm looking to accumulate at these levels, no doubt. Join the Discord to get updates on when I buy and when I sell. But yeah, these are good levels for accumulation. And finally, we got Souls, the unfettered ecosystem. Now this play is extremely risky. Let me just emphasize this again. This is risky. I wanted to include a microcap, and this is definitely a microcap. But another reason why I wanted to include it, which is a much more important reason, is because we're at such a low market cap compared to what they're building. What I'm trying to say is that I think this is very undervalued. I'm not saying that this can be 10 billion in market cap, but do the math. 100x is 50 million in market cap. That is nothing. But yeah, I've talked a lot about Souls in previous videos, but a quick recap. They have one main game which is set to launch on Steam, which is called the Unfettered. They will also have many mini games set to launch together with their arcade blockchain solution. Team is also very doxed, experienced. That is something that I like to see. And to have all these things and be worth $500,000, in my opinion, very undervalued. They also had a hack at these levels. Team handled it perfectly, even burned their own tokens, took full responsibility. And like I said, things take time. You need to give them time to develop. But this definitely is a very risky play, but could in return be extremely rewarding. This can do a 100x easily. That's 50 million in market cap, like I said, that's nothing. So Souls, absolutely something I will be buying, allocating a very small percentage to this microcap, okay? I have a pretty big portfolio in crypto. I don't need this to be 5%, 10%, anything like that. For those of you who are going for a more riskier portfolio, you can check out the video I made a couple of days ago, 1,000 to 100K portfolio, which is a very risky portfolio, but could yield a very good reward. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please join the Discord and let me know. Take care and stay safe.